Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the MedBoys channel. My name is Nimit, and I'm a third-year neuroscience student at the University of Toronto, just like my friends here, Nimit and Rushil. Thank you for all the love and support you've been providing us. It's really helped us keep going and making more videos. Today's video is a little different from our other videos, as we will be talking about the hardest med schools to get into in Canada. We hope it makes it easier for you through your medical journey.
So there are a total of 17 med schools in Canada. In the next few slides, we'll be showing you some acceptance rates, so feel free to take a screenshot. Two of these medical schools are in Alberta. There are one each in British Columbia, Manitoba, Newfoundland, Saskatchewan, and Nova Scotia. The remaining 10 schools are in Ontario and Quebec, with 6 in Ontario and 4 in Quebec. As you can see in the stats we've included, there are vast differences between the schools. Moreover, most schools have different standards for in-province and out-of-province applicants.
So before we start our list, we wanted to say that this list is in no particular order. We have based our evaluation on the acceptance rates of various universities, but there are so many other factors such as essays, the way they look at extracurriculars, and whether they look at Casper and the MCAT. In addition, we wanted to mention that these statistics are from 2021. Also, this list assumes that you're applying as an in-province applicant.
The first university we want to cover is Queen's University. Out of 5,781 applicants, only 109 were admitted last year. This means that their acceptance rate is 1.89%, making it the lowest in the country. Surprisingly, their average GPA of accepted applicants, which we'll be referring to as just average GPA, is only 3.81, which is lower than most of other medical schools in Canada. This school requires both the MCAT and the Casper test, so those are other factors to take into account as well.
And the next university is the University of Ottawa Faculty of Medicine. Out of 4,802 applicants, 165 were admitted. However, out of these 165 matriculants, 118 were in the English stream, while 48 were in the French stream. Therefore, if we were just looking at the English stream acceptance rate, it may be lower than the 3.44% we've mentioned here. The University of Ottawa does not require the MCAT, but it does require Casper. Also, since they consider GPA competitively, their average GPA is quite high.
The Northern Ontario School of Medicine also has a notoriously low acceptance rate at around 3.49%. It also favors applicants from the Northern Ontario region, so anyone applying outside of the Northern Ontario region has a very low chance of acceptance, even if the stats say that the average GPA is at a 3.82, and there is no MCAT or Casper requirement.
The DeGroote School of Medicine at McMaster has the highest number of applicants from this list at 5,868, out of which only 205 were admitted into the MD program. Their average GPA is lower than schools like uOttawa and Uoft, but their average CAR score, which they factor competitively, has been at an extremely high 129 for the past couple of years. To put things into perspective, this means you have to get a 94th percentile on this section so that you can have a competitive CAR score. McMaster is also known for creating the Casper test, and since they weigh your GPA, CARS, and Casper equally, it is important to do well on all three.
The last medical school on our list is the Temerity Faculty of Medicine at the University of Toronto. They have an acceptance rate of 6% and have the highest average GPA among any med school in Canada. In fact, their average GPA is actually higher than Harvard's medical school. They do not look at the MCAT competitively, as you have to get just a 125 in each section to meet the cutoffs. They also do not require the Casper test. Instead, the large majority of their assessment is based on your essays, your references, and your extracurriculars.
That brings us to the end of the video. We hope it provides you with some insight into the top 5 hardest med schools to get into and what they require. Coincidentally, there are also all med schools in Ontario. However, there are other circumstances where getting into out-of-province schools can be much harder. So if you're an Ontario applicant, good luck. If you learned something from this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll catch you all in the next one.